We need to talk. Damn, that only took me 7 attempts. Today is going to be a very, very serious video. It's going to be so serious, in fact, that I even stood up for it. That's how serious I really am. I've been making content on this channel for about 3 years now, and it has been an incredibly rewarding and exciting, yet also an incredibly frustrating and confusing experience. Never before in my life have I done something for 3 years and still felt as lost as I did when I first started out. I wanted to take a moment today to reflect on my journey thus far, the things I've learned, but also, most importantly, what I plan to do with my channel going forward, because I'm going to make some changes around here, and I want to explain to you guys why that is. Did you know that I could do this? Look how flexible I am. I am a bendy boy. I don't really know who this video is going to be for. Some of you have been asking me questions about myself, especially in live streams, why I started this channel, what my motivations are. Even some of you have asked me, I don't know why you would ask me that, but even some of you have asked me if I have any tips for those who want to start their own YouTube channel. I don't feel like I have any right to be giving out tips because I don't feel like I'm anywhere near big or successful enough to tell other people what to do with their channel. But, you know, I've thought about it a bit, and maybe getting some insight from a smaller channel instead of just the big and successful ones can help people as well. And so here I am. I have come to answer your prayers. Like many other people my age, I have always wanted to make YouTube videos. I have been watching YouTube for about as long as I can remember. I literally grew up with the platform, and it has just always seemed like such a cool concept to me to do something that you love, talk about something or do something that you're passionate about, and share that with other people on a platform designed for it. That just seemed like such a cool concept. YouTube is one of the few platforms that really gives you the opportunity to do that in a way that goes beyond just text, like forums or stuff, you know? For some reason though, I never started, and it is one of the biggest regrets that I have in life, because I feel like had I started this earlier, I would have figured out all the problems that I'm facing right now. At least on YouTube. I still would have had a receding hairline that wouldn't have fixed it. But, you know, on YouTube, I feel like I would have figured out my problems sooner and would have been way ahead of where I am now. When my wife and I bought the house that we currently live in and did all the necessary renovations, we still had more money left than we had originally anticipated. And so I decided to finally give YouTube a try. I bought a laptop, the same laptop I still use to this day. And I decided to give YouTube a go, finally. And it was exciting because there were no expectations yet. I didn't have an audience yet, no subscribers, and it felt fresh. Instantly, 20 ideas popped into my mind, and as you can see from my first 3 videos, they're all different. One of them is a more retrospective style video. One of them is a commentary video on Screamers, and the other one is just a Let's Play. Tried a couple of different things, and none of them really caught on, a couple hundred views at most, but I had a blast making those videos, and I was really excited to keep doing that. I then decided that I really wanted to learn how the editing program worked, right? So I landed on the topic of Teletubbies, played the games, wrote a script, and I decided to just throw everything at the wall. Every single sound effect, every green screen, every meme, every zoom, every animation. I just did it all. It's the most obnoxious video I've ever made in my life. Again, I didn't expect this to get more than a couple hundred views at most. I know it sounds very cliche and every YouTuber says that, but it's true. It's true. But that video, for whatever reason, absolutely blew up. I think it's at like 1.7 million views now, and it's still the most viewed video on my channel by far. I'm pretty sure that when I uploaded that Teletubbies video, I had like 42 subscribers or something. I think it was 42, I remember that. And that video got me monetized. The subscriber count was going up by the hundreds, and I was ecstatic. I was over the moon. I thought, you know, it felt like a dream come true. However, even at the time, I was like, let's try to not get too excited here. The video did great. Let's try to do it again. But keep in the back of your head that this might be a one-off, right? This might not happen again anytime soon. That was until my next video, which was the Sonic.exe retrospective. I made that, and it started popping off as well. Again, tens of thousands of views every single day. And that kind of changed my perspective again, because at first I was like, okay, let's try to stay grounded, you know, don't expect to be able to replicate this again in the near future. And then I did. Both my 4th and 6th video that I had ever made, I had absolutely no experience making videos before this, were getting tens of thousands of views a day. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think in the long run, that hurt me more than it helped, at least mentally. Because I thought, you know, maybe it's not just luck. Maybe I really am doing something right, even though I didn't know what it was. I felt like I accidentally figured out the Krabby Patty formula to YouTube success, you know? I was like, oh, I have an audience now. People will watch the things that I upload. And that didn't really turn out to be the case. My video after that was the Five Nights at Freddy's video. Did really well, 200,000 views. And the video after that is where I feel like my short-term success really came to an immediate stop. It was a video about creepy old YouTube videos, and it did absolutely nothing. And I'm not talking about it disappointed. It just did nothing. And I thought, oh, maybe I strayed too far from the original topic or niche of my channel. I thought my channel niche was just overall internet horror, but you know, maybe they just like horror games. So I went back to what I thought would perfectly align with what people wanted to see from me, and I made a Slenderman retrospective. Now this video is at 400,000 views today, but it did absolutely nothing when it first released. A couple hundred views at most. It took almost half a year for this video to break 10,000 views. And it was frustrating because I worked really hard on this and I thought it would perfectly align with what people had come to expect from me. You know, I thought it was exactly what people wanted to see out of my channel. It took me 4 months to make this video because the previous video flopped and I wanted to get this out the best I could, right? I wanted to make this as perfect as I possibly could at the time. I think I rewrote the script like 4 or 5 times and it did nothing. It completely flopped. I was absolutely dumbfounded. Gobsmacked, you might even say. I thought I had it figured out. I don't know why, but it was a really hard realization that I don't. You know, just because previous videos did well, it's not a guarantee that your next video will do well. However, both my Slendytubbies video and my Sonic.exe video were still getting views. Thousands of views every single day. So I was like, you know what? Clearly this isn't working. Let's just make a Sonic.exe video again. And it worked. This is almost at 500,000 views now. Video after that, didn't get any views once again. So I was like, okay, let's just go back to Slendytubbies this time. That's what people want to see. And that also worked. It got 250,000 views. And while I was, of course, really happy that these videos were doing well, it was also kind of frustrating because I thought, you know, am I really stuck now doing just Sonic.exe videos or Slendytubbies videos? Because I like Slendytubbies. I like Sonic.exe for what it is, but I don't like them enough to base my entire channel around them, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, maybe let's try to branch out a little bit, but keep it in the same niche. Let's make a video about Mario.exe games, right? That'll probably align with Sonic.exe. It's been almost 2 months, and it hasn't even broken 10,000 views. No one cares. If I look at my overall subscriber count, almost 2/3 of my overall subscribers come from either my original Slendytubbies video or my original Sonic.exe video. And I think that most people didn't really subscribe for me. It's because they enjoy watching Slendytubbies stuff and they enjoy watching Sonic.exe stuff. That is fine, by the way. I'm not offended. If it comes across that way, don't, please, I'm telling you, that's not the case. But I spend a lot of time trying to figure out why things work. Some things worked and other things didn't. And I think it's a lot easier to figure out why something failed rather than trying to figure out why something did really well. You know, because if something didn't do well, it's easy to say, it's probably the topic, you know, it's probably the edits. Maybe it's not edited interesting enough. Maybe the script wasn't interesting enough. But when something does really well, it's harder because what did you do differently? What did you do here that you didn't do in the video that failed? Maybe you didn't even do anything differently at all. Maybe it was just the topic. Maybe it was just the date it was uploaded at. You don't know that. That's all possible. And I've decided that I am probably not going to figure that out. However, the Mario horror game video was the second time that I worked really hard on a video, only for it to perform significantly worse than I expected it to. And I think that I've just spent way too much time over the years worrying about what type of content people want to see from me, and it's only caused my time between uploads to get longer and longer with each video that disappointed. Because I then spend so much time worrying about what people do want to see from me next, instead of just making stuff that I want to make the way that I want to make it, and showing up. My current style of content is something that kind of just developed over time and something that felt right to me back when I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. And also something that I felt like I had to keep doing because that's what people subscribed for and expected of me. And I think I've just been way too afraid to try new things and develop my style over time because of this. I'm sitting back down again, just to clarify that I don't mean to sound salty. I don't want my words to get misinterpreted as me just being salty that I'm not getting views. That's not the case at all. I'm not mad. I'm not salty. I'm just trying to explain why I'm making the changes that I'm making, right? I thought that with time, I would be able to make these videos faster, right? I would be able to upload much more frequently and I'd get a system down and just be able to create these videos much faster. But that's not really the case. I just don't feel consistently as creative, if that makes sense. Like, there have been times in the past where I've written an entire video script in a week, and then there's also been times where I've been sitting down behind the screen for a week trying to write a script, and I've written like 1 page, you know? Like, if I only upload a video every 2 to 3 months, then it puts a lot of pressure on that specific video to do well. And if it then flops for whatever reason, then my channel is basically just dead for 2 months. And if it does well, then even then I'm gonna be gone for 2 or 3 months. So it's really hard to capitalize on a video doing well and keep the momentum going, because I just can't make these videos faster. I tried it. I thought that over time I would get a system down, but I just don't. Like, I'm not salty about it. I'm not mad. I don't want to make it sound like I feel like I'm entitled to anyone's view, right? I don't want to sit here and blame the algorithm or whatever. I've been making content this way because I thought it's what you had to do on YouTube in order to get views. And it's very easy to get caught up in the analytics, right? In what the algorithm wants. And it's important if you want to see success. You know, if you just make stuff that no one cares about, then yeah, what's the point? But it's also equally as important, if not more important, in my opinion, to have fun doing it. Because that's what YouTube is all about. So I want to do more Let's Plays, gameplays, just doing stuff like this every now and then, talking to the camera and just having an interaction with you guys. I want to do more live streams, stuff like that. I actually really enjoyed doing the live streams. They were fun. The reason why I stopped doing them is because every time I stopped live streaming, I saw my subscriber count go down. Not by much, but you know, I was like, oh, so people don't want to see this. Well, then I'm not going to do it anymore. Even though I really enjoyed doing it. I liked interacting with you guys and it was fun. But the biggest reason why I quit is because I got so caught up in what I thought people wanted to see instead of just making stuff that I wanted to make, right? And that's the reason why I'm gonna do things differently from now on. I'm not saying that I will never make a retrospective again, or I will never make a video again in the way that I have been making videos up until now. I don't know. If I feel like doing that, and if I feel like a topic would be better suited doing it in that style, I might do it again. But I'm not going to make any promises, and it's definitely not going to be my main type of content going forward. And if that disappoints some of you guys, then I'm really sorry. I understand that you might have subscribed based on that content, but I can't. If there's anything that gives me a sense of purpose in life, as cheesy as that sounds, it's making people laugh. I love doing that. My biggest dream in life is making a living, just being able to get by doing something that I genuinely enjoy. You know, most people around me growing up, but even now, they work a job that they absolutely despise. They're absolutely miserable. And I feel like if you are able to make a living by doing something that you genuinely enjoy, then you are happier than 99% of the population. I genuinely believe that. Most people I come across, they hate what they do every day. I hated my old job, and I worked there for 8 years, and I was absolutely miserable. I don't want to disappoint anyone, you know. I was afraid that I was gonna lose what I had built, something that I wanted for a long time. But at the same time, if you're then stuck making content that you don't really enjoy, then what's the point, you know? I'd rather fail making content that I'm actually passionate about and that I actually enjoy making than succeed by doing something that I don't want to do. Like, that seems worse. If people enjoy it, great. If people don't, and my channel dies out by doing this, then At least I went out doing something that I actually enjoyed, you know? To those of you who check out every video I upload, to those of you who come to my channel from me, there are a couple of you, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching my stuff. It makes me really happy to know that some people are genuinely entertained by the stuff that I make. That means the world to me, and I hope I can keep doing that in the future. I don't really know how to end this video, so let me just end it by doing a yoinky sploinky. Watch this. I'm out.